Hello and welcome to Introverted Indies. My name is Lydia Baker. I'm co-host with Lucy McLaren, and our channel is here to introduce indie authors to readers. So I'm here with GM Chmilar, and we're here to talk about her latest release. But first, Gabby, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about your current book that's out, and then we'll go on to the new one.
It's on Amazon and KU currently. This is the second edition, so it is a bit thicker than the first edition. It has a couple extra chapters in it. You can't buy the first edition anymore, so this is the one. And then my second book just came out in December. This is a sequel. And again, it is on Amazon and KU. It does continue the story, so if you are into urban fantasies in Canada, this is the one for you.
Fabulous. So when did that one release, the second one?
The second one was in December, yeah, of 2025, last year.
Super. And so could you give us like a sort of a little brief or very brief sort of outline, sort of teaser for the sort of story so far and for people that might be interested?
So, this family, they're called Bradford family, and they live here in Canada, and they kind of find a legend by accident. They all they wanted to do was kind of stay under the radar, and just kind of do their job and protect their city from unruly mystics, which is kind of like legendary folktales type of people or things. Um, and they kind of fall into this legend, or they find this legendary magic user and they don't know what to do with him because nothing in their history books are written about him. So they kind of like adopt him and train him and keep him around. And as they're trying to find out, and then, I mean, yeah, as they're trying to find him, find out what's going on with him or what legacy he belongs to, things happen. So demons come and they attack gods and other types of things are interested in his magic, and they kind of are trying to figure out why. So Solom is finding him. Paria is starting to figure out who he belongs to and why no one knows about him specifically.
Excellent. And then you said it's going to be a trilogy of books.
Hoping it's a
Yeah.
trilogy. Sometimes I feel like they kind of like characters make up their own story, and then you're like, I guess we're doing this now.
So have you got plans for a third book?
Yeah, the third book is I'm working on right now. It's in development edits. It is a slow process just because I do want it to be just as dramatic as the first two. Um, and also I just have a lot of random projects come up because I people like it when I read their books for them. So I'm on the side. I just do narration for a couple of other indie authors.
So yes, I see that you do narration. How did you end up getting into like doing audiobooks?
Of my cozy fantasy. Yeah, of my cozy romantasy. So those are all done. Those are all on Audible. It's called Unearthed, Unbound, and Unseen, and I do all three of them. Um, and it's like really fun. I randomly had a microphone and obviously a headset during COVID. That's how I hung out with all of my friends. So I just had the equipment, and it kind of just fell into my lap. It's a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you planning to sort of do your trilogy as do audiobooks for those yourself?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I did a better man voice because I can't.
Yeah, this
Sorry.
must be tricky. And then yeah, having to get trying to fit in with somebody else and someone's schedule to try and do two parts must be tricky.
Scheduling for that is a little bit tricky because if I'm doing, well, I thought about it.
Hmm.
I did talk to a friend because he also wants to get into audiobooks. We thought about splitting them in half, so all of the girl stuff I would do and all the boy stuff I would he would do. And then we're like, well, should we do each other's lines in each other's books or in each other's chapters? So if I did my whole chapter, because it's I have multiple POVs, and he would do all the male lines, and then I would send him all the female lines. So we're just trying to figure that out, the
Yeah.
scheduling and hoping because we don't live obviously together,
Hmm.
and we don't have a recording studio, so recording it here and then he's recording it at his place. We're trying to figure out how to make it sound like we're in the same room.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess because I suppose if you're working with someone, you can kind of bounce off their facial expression and all that sort of stuff. Whereas if it's just pre-recorded, it's trickier to get that sort of feel. Yeah. So tell us a bit more about Pariah. So it was published in December, and it's the second part of the series. Would you like to just maybe read the blurb for us? Oh, I'm sure it is.
The by intention. He was supposed to grow into its walls and become someone he could never imagine himself to be. Living, leaving town with Mary Angela, his training is brought to the next level. Emilia heals across the globe and finds that there are more secrets to unfold. Rodrigo and Cecilia stay home, only to find themselves pulled into separate responsibilities. With the family split, they find new alliances and adversaries. Will their loyalty be will their loyalty be the bedrock of their fate, or will it be the defining factor of their destiny?
Have you found it easier to write like the first book, or sort of have you found the second book sort of almost written itself? Because I know that when I started writing, I've got a sci-fi trilogy, and the first one I wrote, and then um, realized the ending. I needed to either write the ending differently or write another book. So it kind of started as just being one, and then developed into more. Did you find it was the same with yours, or did you always have like, I want to write three books and
Just one book, and they kind of got really dramatic, so I ended up writing two. And then the third one came on, and I wrote too much, so now it's split in half.
okay.
Now it's technically four, even though three is cut in half. Or was it two? Two is cut in half, and I had to make one four out of all of them instead of three. So in a sense, it's easier after the first one because I don't have to give a lot of backstory. I don't have to make up a lot of lore. I mean, I can add more lore, obviously. That's not difficult. I think the most difficult part about writing a series is remembering what you said 3 books ago.
I agree. I think I find it's like, right, what color did I say their eyes were, or what?
I've changed like Sophie's eyes 3 or 4 times. Like they're green, they're blue, they're gray.
I have to go back and be like, okay, no, I've got that wrong, change it. And I had one character, I think it was the like the main bad character. I realized I hadn't actually given him a name. He'd had a surname the whole way through, and then I was like, oh, I don't actually know what his name is. That's like three books deep. So
Which is especially because all my characters have a little bit of an attitude. Where to go?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. You think they're going one way, and then it's like, oh no, we're doing something else today. So definitely. And are you always sort of into fantasy type writing, or do you have sort of other genres that you would like to dip into? Hmm.
I have a couple of unfinished rom-coms because I just get bored. I don't know. I don't know. I love reading them. I love it when other people can do them. I just, for some reason, can't finish.
Yeah. So do you read like rom-coms at all?
I do, yeah. So I'm a mood reader. So
Hmm.
right now I'm into Star Wars.
Nice. Why not?
Yeah, yeah. So after watching Andor, I'm like, I need a little bit more Star Wars. So I'm reading like just a couple Star Wars books, and then I'm trying to get into the 80s fantasies again. I used to read a lot of those.
Mhm.
They're thicker books, so
But yeah, a lot of them are like the big, like the Dune and the Lord of the Rings and all those things. They are always like,
yeah. And I like them because they're like really small. Because I don't think people print them that size anymore.
Mhm.
So they're just nice to have around the kitchen too.
I agree. I think Lord of the Rings was one of the first like big fantasy books that I read and really sort of inspired me to want to write. I think that's often true for a lot of people, isn't it? Or a lot of people I know that are my age. So, yeah. Do you have any other projects on the go? So you've got your obviously Solomon Pariah and then the next two that you're working on. But do you have any other projects that you're working on at the moment?
Who falls in love with this traveler who comes and goes quite often. And the whole story is one evening where he kind of finds out she's a princess of a legendary kingdom that's just beyond the mountain range, and he will never see her again after that night. Yeah,
That sounds great. And
very
which,
sad.
yeah, but short stories. I like about short stories. They don't have to be like the whole thing, do they? It's quite fun to just write a little snippet of someone's life or someone's story and leave people wanting more. So, which anthology is that?
End of March, like, yeah, I can do that. I don't know when it comes out. I don't know anything about it.
That'd be a surprise to you as well. Oh, excellent. So, do you have a favorite character in your trilogy, in your Solemn trilogy?
Like his Cervantes family is four siblings, two boys, two girls, and depending on what attitude, one of them is more favorite than the other. Four. The main character, most of the story.
Mhm.
Love him so much because in the first book he's kind of like a nerd. He's not very cool and kind of timid and unsure of himself. And then as you read it, he becomes more confident and he feels more grounded in himself. I really enjoy that about him.
Yes.
And like their interactions with each other are so funny that that's my favorite part about these books is that they
Yeah.
have text. Um, and you can see the snippets of their life reading their text messages. Do I have any in here actually? It's so I think they're hilarious because they always ghost their brother.
Yeah.
They just kind of leave him on red, and he gets really ticked off because he knows he's left on red the whole time. And he's the oldest too, so he doesn't like that.
So you said it's urban fantasy. So is it kind of set in for this sort of time, but obviously in another?
Modern times, there's
Mhm.
magic was available to us now.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of text messaging. One of the sisters she doom scrolls a lot. That's her hobby. So when you're seeing her, she's just like on the couch doing this, and they're like, "Can you move?" And she just is like, "No, I'm busy."
Yeah.
Like things like that. And then they have a magic way to travel, but they can
Mhm.
only travel back. So like
Okay.
they have a key and they can open a portal to come back home because it requires a lot of memory to come back.
Mm.
You have to memorize each piece of the area for you to travel back and forth through a portal. So there's a lot of taxis they take a lot of Ubers to and from places. So they'll go out to grab a taxi and then portal home rather than drive. But they can drive, they have cars and
Yeah.
things like that. But I think that's like my favorite part is that they like
Mhm.
Uber and taxi out and go places and then kind of just magic their way home.
Yeah. No, I like that because a lot of fantasy is like the typical 80s fantasy. It's set in that medieval world and all that sort of thing. So what made you want to sort of more write more urban, or did you sort of, yeah. Not the same.
Wanted to be her.
Yeah.
When COVID happened, I'm like, what did I do before I had money and a car and I was allowed to go out whenever I felt like it? I wrote so then Solum technically was supposed to be a fanfic. It was just supposed to be like me getting back into my favorite hobby. And then it turned into a book because of Buffy. So it has a lot of Buffy vibes in it.
Mhm.
One of the sisters is based on season one or season one and two Buffy, where she's young, she's a cheerleader, she wants to just do girl stuff. And then the other sister is based on the later seasons of Buffy, like she's a little bit more jaded, she's upset, she knows she has a job to do, and she has responsibilities. So yeah, that's where this comes from.
Sounds great. I have got it on my Kindle to read, so I'm even more inclined to read it now. I love Buffy. It was one of my favorite. I'm just waiting for my kids to be a bit bigger so that they can uh, enjoy it as well.
And I can't believe I watched it so young, but my my aunts only a couple years older than me. Like my mom comes from a family of nine, and I'm the oldest grandchild, so my youngest aunt is like 10 years older than me. So by the time she's 16 and watching Buffy, I'm six
Yeah,
watching Buffy. So I watched it pretty young. Not that, I mean, you should let your kids watch it. That wasn't my
no, no.
advice. It was just like, I'm shocked that I was just allowed to.
Yeah, I think that kind of happens, doesn't it? My husband's side of the family, his brothers, I think one of them is closer in age to my eldest than they are to him because it was a big family, and that sort of thing happens, doesn't it? They kind of just ones get pulled along with all the other stuff, and yeah, no. So both Paria and Solemn are on Amazon,
Yes.
or are they available in other places?
Just figure out how I want to do a wide publishing spread. I just haven't had the second about it.
Yeah. Do you find it tricky fitting in with obviously having kids, kind of fit writing time in is must be tricky.
Yeah, right now I have so many like random projects going on because right I'm doing my fr other friends' book.
Mhm.
Why don't I remember her title?
It's right, it's early.
What? Yeah. What the Sea Knows is what I'm doing for her. So
Mhm.
that's been an ongoing project that we've been working on. So that takes up a lot of time, and also editing takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like to have the mental capacity to think about other business opportunities, I just need to finish a few more things before I decide, okay, I have time to look into this and how I need to do this.
Otherwise, it's easy to burn out, isn't it? With, right, with the hobbies you want to do, the writing you want to do, and then obviously other career things and family and home.
Yeah,
A lot, isn't it?
it's a lot, but I'm just glad that I enjoy writing and I enjoy narrating. It's fun
Yeah.
to read other people's stories, and I like reading. I like reading in general, but it's just kind of cool to make other people's stories be real or come alive. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, no, that's really exciting. It's something that I would love to have done with my books, but it's like you said, finding the right person and obviously the cost of everything, because it's a lot of someone's time to narrate a book, so they should be paid fairly for that. But it's not a cheap thing, is it? Same with obviously covers and editing and all those things. It's still
Yeah,
cost, isn't it?
yeah.
So
Like really glad that I kind of figured out how to narrate so that I can kind of do it stuff for my books
yeah,
because it's expensive,
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
but
So if people are interested in finding the books that you've narrated, where can they find them?
they are on Audible and Apple Books.
Hmm.
If you DM me on Instagram, I have promo codes for all of the books that I've narrated. So if you want a promo code from Audible, I can give those to you. So just DM me on Instagram if you're from the US or the UK, and then if that's something you're interested in.
No, that's great. And where can other people sort of keep up with all of your sort of updates? Do you have a web page or a newsletter or anything like that?
I have a newsletter on Substack if I ever update it. It's a hard one to update. I try to do a once a month kind of Substack,
Yeah,
um, but that's also difficult just because I never know what to say.
no, I'm the
And
same.
also like Instagram is a really good place for me, gmchmiller.author.
Mhm.
Um, that's where I keep most of my updates if I'm doing anything, honestly. Yeah. Even like making reels and marketing online. I'm like, this is a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Think about how much time I could be writing, and instead I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, I know I feel that. And I made so many. What did I do? I made so much content yesterday, and now I have to edit it. And I'm like, I don't want to do this
Mm.
first.
No, fair enough. I can understand that. So is there anything else you'd like to, before we just sort of wrap up this little sort of catch up, is there anything else you'd like to add about Solomon or Paria or any of the upcoming books?
But I will be doing a cover reveal in the next month here, so just keep an eye out on that. I finally found a cover artist who I love. She does a lot of my character art, so to keep it consistent, she now does all my books, book covers, so it's all the same. It's kind
Yeah,
of nice.
no, excellent. Well, Gabby, it's been really great to talk to you and just catch up and hear about your books. And yeah, let us know when the next one's coming out and we can, yeah, talk about that one as well on
Okay,
that time.
thank you so much for having me.
It was great to chat.